I'm going to record a video here, kind of outlining my plan for what I want to do video game wise in 2024. And what I'm planning on doing is trying out a lot of new games over the next year. I was trying to give myself a timeline of every week to 2 weeks. I'm going to try a new game, and then I'm going to post some gameplay through the year or through those couple of weeks, and then post a review. And then I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to post a review, how am I going to review these games? I got to come up with some criteria, right? So this is my plan for how I'm going to review games in 2024. The Pparker77 Game Award. Like every good video, we're going to have to start this off with a little bit of a dad joke, right? So how do you know a party is for gamers? There's a ton of streamers there. I mean, that's good. That's good.
Boring.
So we're going to move on here to our acronym. And the first letter in award is A, which in my game award, A is for assembly. So how well is this game put together? How are the controls? Are they intuitive? Are they easy to figure out? Are they things that take me 20 years just to figure out the layout of the game and set up my own hotkeys? Is it complicated? How intuitive is it? The mechanics. How do you play the game? Is it an action role-playing game? Is it a MMORPG? Is it a shooter? Are the mechanics easy enough to figure out? Do they flow well together? Is there online and multiplayer features that are difficult to learn or difficult to engage with, or are they just flow and they seem to make sense with the game? And honestly, for me personally, being online or offline doesn't matter. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game just because it's an offline game. It may be really, really good. Are there bugs? Is the game well optimized at the time that I'm reviewing it, which may be a 10-year-old game by the time I get to play it, honestly. Is it innovative? Is it something that is genre defining, or is it something that, yep, it's a good example of that genre, but they didn't really do anything new with it? That's kind of my thought there. Now, what's it worth? Is this a expensive game? And honestly, I'm at a point in my career where the cost may not be the biggest point. But if I'm putting even $2 into something, am I getting my value out of it? Is this something that I'm going to enjoy spending $20 on, $50 on, $100 on, and not feel like I was just ripped off? Or is it a game that, like, hey, the game is cheap, it's $2, but to really play the game and play the game completely, you have to spend $1,000 on DLCs. Is it updated frequently? Are those updates costs? Are there costs associated with it? Is there a subscription? Are these free games? Are there ways that you can get out of a subscription if you were to buy it? So what's that overall value? Is it something that I feel like, boy, I'm getting my money's worth out of it? Or am I going to light the money on fire? Hence the picture on the background there for those of you who've watched The Dark Knight, which is a solid flick, by the way. Aesthetics. This is a picture of Wyoming, by the way, which is just gorgeous. How are the graphics? Is it something that it looks good? I love games that have old school graphics. Honestly, FTL, Faster Than Light, it's probably in my games that I'll probably never uninstall. The graphics are pixel graphics, but I still think it looks good. I don't know why. I like it. Is the story and the narrative, is it engaging? Did they put it together well and wrap it into the game? Does the sound, Diablo 2, again, one of my legacy games that I'm probably never uninstalling. There's great music in that game, and you know the music. You know when you're in Diablo's castle. I mean, there's just great sound. The music is good. There's a sound in Diablo 2 when they hit a curse called Iron Maiden, which killed my barbarian back in 1.1. Really upset about that, but that sound is so distinct. And I hear it now and I still get like fear of like, where's the Iron Maiden? I know I can't use my melee skills. Really got a good game has good sounds. replay. And this is interesting because I put difficulty under replay. And why is that? If a game for me is so simple, I'm probably going to play it once and I'm going to be done with it because it'll bore the heck out of me. Now, on the flip side of that, if it's overly difficult where I have to spend 2 weeks just to figure out how to get through the start of the game, it's probably going to turn me off as well. So there has to be that difficulty that is optimized to the point where, yep, I'm comfortable with it, but it's not so easy that I'm bored, but not so difficult I'm not engaged. And that's a hard thing to figure out. It's a hard thing to put a number on, but it has to have the right level of difficulty. Does it have some end game? Is there a variety of play? I'll come back to FTL, which is a simple game. You can do one playthrough probably in an hour and play all the way to the end of the game. But there's so much variety to it. That's that whole uh, replayability. You can play through a mission multiple different ways. It's a roguelike game. So that's the whole intent, is you just keep playing it over and over again. Even though you're playing from one end of the game to the other end of the game, it's replayable. Even Mario Brothers back in the day on the old Nintendo, that was replayable. Can I play it faster? Can I get through levels? Can I find the hidden areas? What brings me back to it? So in-game can be multiple different things, like variety of play, etc. Is there developer support so that if there's not good content or the content is bugged, or they're going to fix it, they're going to add some new content, they're going to do something different that brings you back into that game. So there's multiple levels there in the replay, and that's going to be pretty important. This all leads into the dopamine effect, and i.e., is this giving me that reward? The dopamine's a chemical in the brain. You get stimulated by something, and it gives you a reward. So if you were a chocolate fan and you eat a Hershey's chocolate bar, and boy, I feel really good. I love that. That's dopamine giving you that effect right there. The same happens with video games. You get a reward for playing that game. You finish that level. You finally beat Mario Brothers. Oh my gosh, that reward at the end, you feel so great. Is there a joy to playing the game, or is it just a slog? I mean, we all work all the time. I don't need to come home into my video game retirement plan here and all of a sudden feel like I'm working again. Now, I don't mind games that require you to invest time and effort into, but I want to be rewarded for that time and that effort. I don't want to feel like I'm just going to work and I'm punching a clock. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be thought-provoking. There's games where I will make lists. I will make spreadsheets. I will go nuts planning on the game. If I have 5 seconds to myself at work, I'm probably strategizing what I'm going to do the next time I get on and play this game. There'll be times where you're dreaming about the game because you just can't. You're constantly thinking about getting in, doing that next thing in a video game. That's that dopamine effect. You got to have that. And to me, that kind of encompasses all of the 5 aspects of a game that I would grade a game on. Now, there's obviously multiple levers within each of these, and I was trying to come up with a cool acronym, so I came up with award. So this is going to be the Pparker77 award for a game to judge it. And then my plan for the end of 24 is that every game that I've played, maybe not my legacy games, I'll think on that. Maybe I'll put the legacy games in there, is that I will grade each of these games, give it a score, and then at the end of the year, all the games that I was able to play, I'm going to make a tier list for these games, slap them on a tier list, using the old tier list thing that everyone's gotten really excited about seeing, and then, where do my games end up for the year? I think this will be a cool thing. I hope you guys will enjoy it. I know my boys are excited to see a tier list. So this will be fun. Hope you enjoy this idea. Throw me a comment on what you think about my award plan. I hope you enjoy it.